Hello everyone, I'm Sylvia from Fairlight Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I finally found the courage to start a new series, and it's going to be all about pairing, and it's pairings between an oracle deck in specific and a few tarot decks. So I'm always very grateful whenever an oracle deck gives me the possibility to understand my tarot decks even more. I wanted to start with the Poesis Oracle by Andrea One, and the reason is that this oracle has entered my collection probably 3-4 weeks ago, but it's always next to me, and I found that bonding with it, especially because at the beginning I purchased it to pair with the Yokai Yochi Tarot because I wanted a deck that had a similar color palette. But after I tried pairing it with other tarot decks, I found its true soul, and the soul of this deck is for really deep, really meaningful shadow work, looking very deeply into my soul and finding some areas that need to be worked on. Now, I have around 10 or 11 decks, tarot decks that I want to pair with it. So bear with me and let's have a look at pairings between tarot decks and oracle decks for the Poesis Oracle. The very first pairing was the origin of my purchase. Why did I buy the Poesis Oracle? I had the Yokai Yochi Tarot for a while. I really love it. I love everything that reminds me of Japan and its culture. But I find it really difficult to find an oracle deck that paired well with it because it's got a very specific color palette and also very unique kind of artwork. And when I saw the Poesis, I thought this might work, so I got it. And I tried the pairings with this too, and it was just love at first sight. It was a bond that was incredibly powerful since the beginning. I think I have been using these two together for, well, ever since the day I got the Poesis, so since day one. Now, what I generally do, I use the tarot deck this way on the right and the left of the oracle deck, because this is the best way. I found after many trial and error, I found that this is definitely the best way to gather a message that it's concise, but in such a way that you can actually expand on it. And so let's have a look at how these two talk, how these two communicate together. I find that it's always the flow of energy between these two decks is very strong. So let's have a look. So we've got Earth between the Nine of Wands and the Star. Union between the Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. Wish between the Eight of Wands and the Four of Disc or Pentacles. As you can see, the artwork is very similar between these two decks, and the color palette is also very similar. Work between the Wheel of Fortune and Fortitude. If you focus on your tasks at hand, things will always go up and down, but you'll find your strength. Nurture between the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. shadow between the Ten of Swords and the Fool. Listen between the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Leap between the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Seek between the World and the Hermit. Embrace between the King of Swords and the Devil. As you can see, these two decks communicate really well together. They expand on the meaning of the message, and they give you a lot of opportunity to talk about the cards. They give you a lot of opportunity to do an introspection on the message itself, tap into your own intuition and see where it leads. So this was the Poesis Oracle, and the first pairing is with the Yokai Yochi Tarot. The second pairing that I'm going to do is with the Symbolic Soul Tarot by Elisa Seitzinger. So as always, we've got our tarot on the sides and the oracle in the center. So let's have a look at how these two pair together. Again, the color palette is very similar. The artwork is very minimalist. So also it reminds of the artwork of the Poesis. So in here we got the Unknown between the Eight of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. Transform between the Three of Wands and the Six of Swords. That's a beautiful transformation once you set your plans into motion, but you still have to go through a difficult journey. You know that you're gonna go through with it, and you know that you're going to go to a better place. But it's the difficult and spiritual and life-changing transformation of the butterfly, isn't it? It's beautiful. So we got trigger between the Two of Wands and the Devil. As you can see, this oracle is very intense. That's why in many cases I find myself using it for shadow work. We feel that the world in front of us is too small for us. We need something else. We have achieved so much and now we need to grow. Because the Two of Wands is the card it's right between the Three of Wands, which is the card of expanding, broadening our horizon. But there might be a few triggers brought on by the image that we have about ourselves. So feel between the Four of Cups and the Hermit. You might be going through a period of time in which you feel like everything that is at offer around you is not enough for you, so you feel restless, you feel like you need something different. But if you tap into your intuition, if you look inside yourself and achieve the kind of knowledge, that will definitely help you get unstuck from this situation. Disillusion between the Ace of Cups and the Five of Swords. Intuition between the Nine of Pentacles and the Moon. This is fantastic. In order to achieve that abundance you're looking for, use the intuition you have within yourself. And that's even reinforced by the Moon, which is a card of introspection. It's the kind of moment in which you have to really step away from it all and just look within yourself. Expand between the King of Cups and Judgment. Simplify between the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. hold between the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Perhaps that plan that is not entirely kosher that you want to carry out is not exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. Wait a moment, just hold on to that, because it can bring to a lot of worries, it can bring a lot of anxiety. Blockage between the Tower and the Queen of Pentacles. You want to achieve your quality as a healer. You want to be at once with the universe and the nature around you and develop the nurturing side that you have. But you cannot do that unless you break everything that has to be broken, all the strings that were attached to something that brings you back, that stops you, that creates this kind of blockage. Soften between the Ten of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. As you can see, I don't always get immediately a message from the cards, because no one tells me, but actually filming a video, it's very different from when I'm reading the cards, either for myself or for friends or for clients. But there's an energy going on. There's something that I can feel the intense communication between these two decks. And you know, when you have a moment of peace and quiet in which you can really focus, it's really beautiful to listen to what they have to say. So this is again the Poesis Oracle paired up with the Symbolic Soul by Elisa Seitzinger. Another pairing that I wanted to show you is with the Antique Anatomy Tarot by Black and the Moon, and this is the mass market edition. So we've got trigger between the Knight of Blades and Justice. Balance between the King of Blades and the Hanged Man. Play between the Emperor and the Devil. That's an interesting. Ironically, I think it pairs really well to play between the Fool and the Magician as well. But surrender between the Fool and the Magician. Wound between the Moon and the Hierophant. As you can see, the color palette is still quite similar, but because the Antique Anatomy has the splashes of colors related to the plants and the flowers, I think it gives an even additional kind of perspective, and it helps even more tuning to the message brought by the Poesis Oracle. So give between the Three of Rods and the Nine of Coins. Harvest between the World and the Nine of Rods. Courage between the Nine of Blades and the Queen of Rods. That's a very strong message right there. You might be in a really bad place right now. You might be worried about something for yourself or for a loved one, but you need to break through that. You need to have courage, you need to go ahead, and then that's when you will become your true self. Freedom between the Five of Elixirs and the Four of Rods. Journey between the Page of Blades and the Two of Blades. That's interesting. So now I want to try though what it would look like with the other I have the indie edition of the Antique Anatomy. Let's see. So this is the indie edition, the second edition of the antique anatomy, and I think that there's even more of an echo, a kind of a resonance between the poesis and this edition of the antique anatomy, because in this edition you don't have the splashes of color. The color palette is pretty much the same. We already know that the antique anatomy has this kind of minimalist kind of artwork. It reminds me of those sketches in the really old medicine books. That's why it's called the antique anatomy, of course. So we've got recharge between the Seven of Water and Death. Connect between the Three of Fire and Page of Earth. I like the fact that in this edition of the antique anatomy has the elements for the suits. Birth between the Five of Earth and the Seven of Earth. Explore between the Ten of Fire and the Star. That's so beautiful. It's not just visually beautiful. I feel like the energies of these two decks are very similar. They actually complement each other. So home between the Nine of Air and the Eight of Fire. That is so beautiful. Open between the Ace of Water and the Knight of Earth. Body between the Lovers and the Four of Earth. Heal between Strength and the Six of Earth. I love how the poesis is very balanced, so it's not a hack deck at all, but it's not necessarily a dark deck. It's got a balance between shadow work and light work, which makes it more complete. I think all decks, ideally all oracle decks, you know, I would like them to have this kind of balance between the two. We got Fear between the Knight of Water and the Sun. It's a bit of a contrasting message here. Silence between the Emperor and the King of Water. And the last one, we've got Observe between the Six of Water and the Seven of Air. So this was a pairing between the two versions of the Antique Anatomy, the mass market edition and the second indie edition. Another deck that I wanted to pair with the Poesis Oracle is the Tarot of Unknown Shadows. Now this tarot deck has a vintagey kind of look. It's the kind of photographic vintagey collage. It's a really beautiful deck. I use it especially during the darker months and around Halloween. So it doesn't necessarily share that kind of balance between shadow work and light work that I find in the poesis, but I wanted to check out whether these two still communicate with each other. So we've got Rage between the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. We've got Trust between the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Wow. Trust, the journey you're embarking upon, is going to lead you to a balance between giving and receiving. Right now, there's a bit of a preponderance between one or the two aspects. So you need to go through these kind of, at the moment, difficult transformation in order to achieve that kind of balance. Trust between the Two of, this is Wands, so Fire, and the Five of Pentacles. Joy between the Eight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. Right now, it seems to be telling you that right now, it's probably not the moment to turn your back to what you've got. But actually to consolidate, try and enjoy the kind of moment, joyful moment that you're having, and consolidate, bank on it, consolidate it, keep it. Perhaps you don't know what you're going to face in the future, so it's time, mostly it's time to consolidate. Support between the Nine of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. You have the kind of resources you wished for, so use the kind of support to build a team and build something together. Sovereignty between the Ten of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Celebrate between the Knight of Cups and the King of Swords. I feel like these two, whilst they probably don't match that a lot when it comes to artwork and color palettes, some cards do, they do communicate well with each other. They do have this exchange of energy that helps expand of the message of the tarot. I actually really like this pairing. So my last one, expressed between the Fool and the Knight of Swords. So this is again the Poesis paired up with the Tarot of the Unknown Shadows. And now we're going to have a look at how well the Tarot of the Abyss by Anatorian is going to pair up with the Poesis Oracle. I have a feeling that these two decks will pair up really well together because they share so many elements. The color palettes, for example, yes, this is a black and white deck, but I've always seen it, because of the use of shading, I've always seen it as more than just black and white. It does have a lot of depth in the cards, and the artwork is also kind of different because Anatorian is all about the details, and which is an amazing, fantastic kind of style, whereas for example the Poesis is more minimalistic. But let's see how it goes. So we got Root between Ace of Pentacles and the Star. Heal between the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Trust between the Three of Pentacles and the Tower. Trust your team even in the moment when everything seems to be falling apart. I like this depiction of the tower in the Tarot of the Abyss. Is probably my favorite tower. Rage between the Four of Pentacles and the Magician. Don't settle in for consolidation. Don't settle in for stagnation. Embark on a journey sparked by your rage and use your skills. So moderate that kind of rage, but use your skills in order to get unstuck from the moment of consolidation and stagnation that you're in. Birth between the Five of Pentacles and the Chariot. Something new is going to come to you. Yes, you've been left out in the cold and now you feel like everything has forsaken you, but something new will come out of this and you will embark in another adventure. Open between the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. See, I read numerologically and I love the fact that, for example, in here you have an echo, a resonance between the opening of the mind in the Oracle and the opening of the mind in the Tarot. That's really beautiful. Poem between the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. again, I choose to read numerologically, and this tarot offers me the possibility with an alternative card for the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords, which I really appreciate. Recharge between the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Explore between the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. Connect between the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. That's beautiful. Look at the Ten of Pentacles. It's such a beautiful card. I mean, Anna Torian's work is she's my favorite artist. And there's this kind of connection, the resonance between the two hands in the Oracle card and the two hands in the Ten of Pentacles. Last one, so freedom between the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Such a beautiful message. So we've got this pairing. It's probably one of my favorites so far, and it's between the Poesis Oracle and the Tarot of the Abyss by Anna Torian. And now we're going to have a look at how the Inkwitch Tarot by Eric Mell is going to pair up with the Poesis Oracle. I feel like we have a very similar color scheme, not necessarily a similar artwork. So we can see noise between the Empress and the Hermit. Courage between Judgment and the Six of Swords. There needs to be a rebalance, and you need to focus on your courage in order to go through with this difficult journey you've embarked upon. It's sense of necessity in the Six of Swords is really beautiful. I think I like it when I can see that in the card shows that where you're going is actually a better place, because that's my way of reading the card. So here we got you between the Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords. I feel like they pair up really well together. What do you think? Patience between the Queen of Cups and the Moon. Boundary between Strength and the Three of Pentacles. There might be a bit of a commotion, a bit of a back and forth in the group you're working with, but if you use your boundaries, if you make sure that you respect the boundaries of others as well, there's going to be cooperation. Illuminate between the Fool and the Lovers. That's so beautiful. Create between the Magician and the Five of Swords. Change between the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. And the last one, we've got Magic between the High Priestess, yes, that makes sense, and the Two of Pentacles. That's so beautiful. So this was the Inkwitch Tarot by Eric Mell paired with the Poesis Oracle. The next deck I've chosen for a pairing with the Poesis Oracle is the Phantom Wise Tarot by Erin Morgenstern. We've got transform between the Eight of Cups and the Star. So you need to leave the situation that is broken behind you, embrace this transformation, and you will find a way to heal what was broken. Unknown between the Six of Swords and the Two of Wands. You need to embark into a journey, a difficult journey to the unknown. Even though it might feel scary at first, but you need to broaden your horizon, and that's the only way to do that. Disillusion between Strength and the Three of Pentacles. Expand between the Nine of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, hang in there. You need to use your resilience. You've been through a lot. You haven't completed your task just yet. So hang in there, expand your views, and you'll see that certain things will actually change. Simplify between the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool. Just go back to the origins sometimes. When you embark upon a new project, you just really need to simplify everything and be the kind of child that trusts everything, that has this communication at a really simple level with nature. And that's a new way to see things. Blockage between the Devil and the Two of Cups. Perhaps there's something that is not flowing in this relationship, and it's brought upon the kind of things that we need to work on in ourselves, the kind of things that bring up some shame, some stuff we don't want to deal with. Don't let it stuck everything, don't let it stop everything from getting in the way of this relationship. Hold between the Chariot and the Page of Wands. Choice between the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Embrace between the World and the Eight of Wands. So this is the Poesis Oracle again, and I've paired it with the Phantom Wise Tarot by Erin Morgenstern. The next combination is between the Somnia Tarot and the Poesis Oracle, and this combination is one that I actually use a lot. I do some kind of very special work, life path working, let's call it this way, for a few clients, and I find that the Somnia is a very brainy kind of deck, whereas the Poesis Oracle is very versatile. So when I use it, for example, with the energy ecology, I will always focus on to the effects of a situation in someone's body. So whether there was an injury, where is it situated in the body? And the Somnia will tell me what the effects are on the mind. The Poesis Oracle helps me tie these two messages from the Somnia and the energy ecology, and it gives a way of introspection into the matter. Sometimes I also use the Death Doula Oracle in this combination to see if there is some soul search, soul work that needs to be done as well, and I think it works really, really well. So let's have a look. We've got Celebrate between the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Guide between the Ten of Coins and the Ten of Wands. This is beautiful because it represents the completion between two suits, and we've got the suit of earth and the suit of fire, and visually it's stunning because you've got, yes, the abundance you have received. It has to guide you towards a resilience, making you realize that you're probably carrying a bit too much on your shoulder. Support between Justice and the Four of Cups. Joy between the Ace of Cups and the Tower. As you can see, the message is always very strong. It comes out as something that really needs a lot of work to be done. We've got Wish between the Ten of Swords and the Star. It's beautiful because we always say wish upon a star. We've got this Ten of Swords that stays here, and it tells us that we have reached rock bottom. So there's nothing worse that can happen, and that's a way for us to start looking up. If we cannot go any further down, then the only way forward is up. Union between the Lovers and the King of Coins. That's so beautiful. That's such a beautiful message. I find that these two, even though, you know, the colors are not there, the artwork is completely different. We got photography style here and minimalist artwork style there. It's just, it's counterintuitive, isn't it? It should not work well, but it actually does. We've got Earth between the Page of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Harvest between the Five of Cups and the Sun. Leap between the Nine of Cups and the Hermit. There's so many interesting sides to the cards thanks to this this combo. I feel like the Poesis is giving me a new way of looking at the Somnia, and that's a job well done for me. That's the reason why I try pairing oracles and tarot decks. So test between the Hierophant and the Nine of Swords. Difficult times ahead, but if you stick to what you know, to the tradition, you will overcome that. You've got Magic between the Four of Coins and the Three of Wands. And the last one, we got Child between the Four of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. This is definitely a good omen for a newly formed family. Now this is the Poesis Oracle, and I paired it with the Somnia Tarot by Nicholas Bruno. And the last combination that we're going to look at today is with the Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot Monsters, the Macabre and Autumn Scenes by Bettelin Bajema. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. Now, I absolutely adore this deck. It's one of my go-to deck for darker days, but it's also a deck that I use year-round, and not just for shadow work. It's got the kind of quality of versatility in a deck that I really admire and I appreciate. The name is way too long, but everyone calls it the Madame Lydia Tarot, or even more simply the Lydia Tarot, and that's what I will do. So let's see. I think that this tarot deck has a very similar vibe to the Hush Tarot in a way, because of the artwork and the color palette, but also because of the kind of concept that everything has to come to an end, everything is going through that kind of transformation and the kind of process that sees a decay. The Hush Tarot is more focused on nature, whereas I feel like the Lydia Tarot is more focused on society. It talks about that kind of decay that we can see in nowadays society. I do believe though that this one will pair well with the Poesis. So we got Earth between the Knight of Coins and the King of Coins. That the element of Earth into cards of the suit of Earth. Union between the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups. Wish between the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Coins. You need to work hard and you need to get out of your way and get out there in order to fulfill your wish for abundance. Joy between the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands. We got a lot of fiery energy associated with joy. Support between Strength and the Five of Wands. That's even more so whenever there's, I call the Five of Wands the card of the pillow fight, because yes, it is related to competition and I like to see it within a sports kind of event. And the Strength pretty much reflects on that kind of movement that we see in the Five of Wands. And you definitely need this kind of support in the team that is competing against each other, if you bring back that balance, if you apply that kind of support, then you will achieve your own strength. Guide between the Three of Swords and the Six of Wands. It's beautiful. Even visually, the directionality of this deck is amazing. You go from a situation in which there is an overthinking and over worrying. There might be even a heartbreak, even though I read the Three of Swords as numerologically. So it's the suit of the mind. So there's this growth in the suit of the mind that sometimes bring a kind of a blockage. If you follow the direction indicated to you, then you will achieve a celebration. You will achieve victory. Sovereignty between Death and the Eight of Wands. Celebrate between the Three of Coins and the Nine of Wands. And let's see, just another one. We've got silence between the Ten of Swords and the Four of Wands. That's beautiful. So this was the last one, and it was the Poesis Oracle paired with the Lydia Tarot. Now this is a new series that I'm going to show on my channel. I really like the possibilities that we have combining tarot deck and oracle decks. And so if you want to subscribe, if you like this video and if you like the possibility to see other pairing, other decks combination, then definitely subscribe to my channel. There will be more to come. Have a great day.